Connecting Guide and Coach, and we are here for the part 2, second segment on the 5-day Connecting Challenge launch day. So welcome. Woo! Crowd goes wild. So the first section was about making the first move. Connecting is in-person connections, building relationships on purpose and with purpose, to give you that as a framework. The first section was about making the first move. How do I make a contact with somebody to see if they're a connection I want to build? And this second section is the why in the road, as in a why. And it's, what do I do after the first move? So I've been in that grocery store that you keep talking about. I am out and about at business events, whatever it might be. I've made the first move. Now what? Great question. So this is part of the 5-day Connecting Challenge. And thanks for those of you who are joining me live. I really appreciate it. It's great. And thanks. Keep the comments coming in that, I think it's in the left-hand side. So stage left for you. And I will either acknowledge them here or I'll address them at later. Some of you have sent in questions and queries leading up to this challenge as well. I will cover them probably in future segments because some of them are really great questions that deserve their own episode. So thank you for that. So let's go right into number 2, the second section of the 5-day Connecting Challenge, which is the why in the road. What do I do after the first move? I've made that comment. I've initiated something. I want to see if somebody wants to connect. My friend Robin is over here in the studio audience. My friend Sean is behind the film camera there. So I've made first contacts with both of them quite some time ago. Great stories, both of them. I was telling Sean about our first encounter. I don't think you've even met the first time I saw you. But that was a connection. I remember seeing you and I think, oh, wow, she looks like a really interesting person. So I want to meet her. So I did. That was my first move. So back to the task at hand. We've learned how to make the first move, make the contact. Now it's the why in the road. What do I do after the first move? So what do we do? Well, today I'm going to share stories and tactics. We're going to start with mindset. I like using stories as that example. We all have them. You all have great stories. And the tactics that go with them. I'm a very how-to person. I want to know how to do something. And I'm going to assume that some of you want that also because it sounds all well and good to be, yeah, but Ginger, you're just naturally gregarious. Here's the little secret. I didn't come out this way. I developed into the person I am, and I love the compliment when people give me, like, Ginger, wow, you know a lot of people. It's not an ego trip for me. It's the fact that I've taken the first move with a lot of different people, and I've built that into a connection that means something. So that is what connectivity is all about. In person, internal, external, on purpose, with purpose, interactions with people. That's a phenomenal opportunity just waiting for you. So we've reached the why in the road. We've had that first move. What do we do next? First of all, let's cover mindset. Mindset is your attitude. If anybody's ever told you, like my dad did when I was little, to get an attitude adjustment, I wouldn't snark back and say, Dad, where do I get one? That would have been a really bad choice. but I did know what he meant, and he meant that be mindful of where your head is, and that's also known as mindset. Mindset's really important. In fact, it's essential if we're going to be open to opportunity. And by the way, this is open to opportunity for us making that first move and getting to that why in the road, as well as other people feeling comfortable to approach us. Robin in our studio audience, who's just off screen today, she's a great example. I saw her at a charity event, and I thought she had this great, lively personality, and she was dancing, and I thought, wow, I love to dance too, and it's always fun to meet other people who like to dance, and so at a right moment in the future, I'll make that first move, I'll hit the why in the road. We're well past that, which I'm super grateful for, and we have connected, and we've done it in person. And so that's why the mindset of being open, I was open to figuring out who this person was. She was open to me approaching her, and off we go. So we hit that why in the road. The why in the road is after your first move, and the why has 2 tines. You know, people talk about forks, but when I see a fork, it usually has more than 2 tines, unless it's like a big old stabby barbecue fork. So let's talk about the 2 arms of the Y. It's not a V, it's a Y. There, maybe that's better. It's just got a fat lump in the road. The Y in the road is 2 choices. So you've made your contact, that's where the Y comes together, and your choices are really quite simple. And please don't overthink them. These are really supposed to be really elemental. The first Y is, yes, I want to make a connection. You've had that first interaction, you've had that first move. Yes, I want to make a connection. That's one why. The other why, the other arm of the why is, nope, I don't think so, for whatever reason. And you know what? That's totally okay. If you don't want to make a connection, you're not going to be authentic, you're not going to be comfortable, just like Maya commented in the earlier video, you got to be you. And so if you're you, you'll be your best you. It's not corny, it's true. Ooh, Dr. Seuss in the room. Anyway, if you're you, if you're relaxed, if you're comfortable, when you hit that Y in the road and you either say yes or you say no, either way you're making progress, because by saying no, you say yes. That means that this isn't the right fit, so I'm going to go this way, and I bet I'll find somebody else. I think there's a few billion people on the planet. Odds are good that you're going to find somebody else. So give yourself that permission. The other part of the Y in the road is your own why, as in W-H-Y. Why do we do things is a huge question. I've done a whole bunch of qualitative research. It's studying the psychographic, the decision-making process on how we choose to do things and not do things, quite frankly. It's our behaviors, it's our habits, it's our patterns, it's our background, experience, plug in, a whole bunch of other things there. That why, as in, I wonder why, is driving everything. So going back to Maya's comment that you have to be comfortable being you in order to make progress, she's absolutely right. So she's figured out that she's comfortable being her, and her why in why she wants to connect has its own resonance and its own purpose. Once you help yourself figure that out with that open mindset, you can make a lot of progress. This is not a volume game, too, people, for the record. Networking might be a numbers game. Connectivity never is a numbers game. It's always about the real relationships you can develop. So we're going to talk about that in the future. Please keep that in mind. This is not the card shove. This is not the networking event. Those are different. Some of those pieces have a place, in my opinion, some of them don't. We're talking about connectivity today. I'm Ginger, your connecting guide, and I want to help you become a comfortable and confident connector, building relationships that are meaningful and purposeful for you and our bigger world at large. Goodness knows we need it. So, story number 1. In my own endeavors, I tend to travel by air a lot. Shout out to Alaska Air. Love them. They've even upgraded me to first class a couple times. Nice. Yeah, right. Woo! Don't know where that came from, but keep it coming, Alaska. So travel is loaded with connecting potential, and I love it because every time I go to my local airport, I get up to the counter and I give them my bag, and I invariably, there's a why. I either see somebody I know, somebody like Elvira, or I see somebody I don't know, and it's a great opportunity to connect. They're working hard. Keep it light, keep it friendly, keep it positive. You make a terrific impression. You feel good, people. I don't know which fins, like endorphins or serotonins or whatever's going on in there. That's for an endocrinologist, perhaps. But I know that it feels good, and it feels good to that other person, too, because they feel like they're in the moment with you, and you're happy, and you're making progress. You make that story happen. You've walked in the door, you've made your contact, you walk up to the counter, there's a Y in the road. Are you going to connect, or are you not going to connect? It's surely up to you. We're not judging here. However, I can tell you that when you connect with somebody like an airline counter worker, you can make their day pretty easily. They're people just like you and me. They're working hard. They're thinking about how they best can serve you. You can best serve them and yourself by offering a little piece of connection to make their day better. Here's the tactic. Making contact with people on the front lines of travel, that can change your world, my friends. Chances are high that they want your trip to go better than even you do. Because what happens if the plane stays on the ground? It's way more of a hassle to them. If we can stay cool and calm and collected and kind, there's a lot of connectivity, we will make so much more progress. We'll be so much more relaxed too. I mean, here's an example. I went to Las Vegas a few years ago to speak at a conference, and I walked from the airport to Caesar's Palace. It's really not that far, it's only 4 miles. But I got in, and the staff at the front counter was amazed. And I didn't do it to try to impress somebody. I'm like, it's a good day for a walk, let's just go. I get up to check in, the gentleman at the counter said, we entered into some banter, they're very well trained in hospitality, they understand what it's like to connect with their guests. And I was telling him, and I was laughing, and I probably needed a shower, but I was happy, and so was he, and he said, well, Miss Johnson, we're just gonna upgrade you to the penthouse for the night. Seriously, the penthouse at Caesar's Palace. It was nuts. Now, I don't know if it's the penthouse, but it was bigger than my house times 2. And it was so much fun, and I have to believe that part of that was simply because I was having a good time with them, I was respecting them, I was connecting with them on a very human, personal level, and I got a penthouse. The only bummer is I didn't have anybody to share it with. Like, the room looked empty even though I had my bags. So that's the tactic there. Story 2. To make sure you realize that a penthouse stay doesn't happen in a vacuum, here's another one. Let's take air travel again. How many times have you retained your cool and calm demeanor when your flight is delayed? Have you done that? I'm going to assume this fine audience has done that. I'm going to assume that some of us get a little hot under the collar sometimes. I will put myself in that court in days past, but I don't do that anymore. I realized a long time ago that it's way better for me, my blood pressure, everybody around me, to stay cool and calm. Because guess what? Again, it's way more of a hassle for the people who are trying to sort this out, i.e. the airline folks in this case, than me. It's an inconvenience, yeah, but big deal. In the big scheme of things, it's not that big a deal. If I maintain my cool and calm demeanor, I will better connect with the people who are there to serve me. I'm not putting myself on the martyr post here, folks. I'm simply using these as examples. If we stay cool, calm, collected, happy, safe, we're fine. We're going to be great. People gravitate towards people who are calm and collected and professional. All those things, those are really important to connectivity. The kicker here is that it has to be authentic. You need to make sure, it's not much of a kicker if you're already doing that, you need to make sure that this is being true to you. So take that kind of tactic, which is setting a classy, calm example. There's everything okay about speaking up. There's everything okay about going up to the counter and saying, so can you tell me, I'm not quite clear on what's going on. Can you please tell me what to expect? And if they bark back, just give them a moment. You know what, I'll be back and I'll check later. There's so many ways to build that connection in a not so ideal situation simply by staying calm and cool. And I tell you what, I'm a really impatient person. The people in this room know that. Some of you out there know that. So it takes effort. I'm not saying that connectivity is all easy and daisies for everybody. I am saying that when you practice it, that learning a long time ago to not be the a-hole, that served me well, because then what happens? Everybody is happier, everything runs smoother, there's a lot of good momentum. That's connectivity. You've connected with yourself first, said I'm going to stay calm, I'll be cool about this, and that rubs off on everybody. So I think that's really important. So the lesson right now is that you've built your connecting possibilities. If you've watched the first video, the how to make the first move, this is the why in the road. What do we do after we make that first move, that first contact? Then you're on your way to being a great connector. Maybe you already are. Maybe this enhances something. If you know somebody else who can use this, please go ahead and forward this to them and help them build their skills as well. Being a connector happens one-on-one. It happens on purpose. It happens with purpose. It doesn't have to be the live-all, end-all. And it can make your day great. It can make somebody else's day great. So as a connectionist, as a speaker, I know that these things can help you if you take them, make them your own, adopt the style that works for you, and try it. Try your first move, make that first contact. Get to the why in the road, know your why, W-H-Y, why you're doing it and why you're not doing it, and then keep going. The third video is coming right up. If you're here live, stay tuned. I've got a couple more things yet, but we're gonna have the third segment starting at 20 till the hour, and that will wrap up a nice little beginning sequence for connecting. I wanna let you know that if you are here live, woohoo, props up, super glad you're here. And if you are here live, you're gonna get an email following these videos, and I'll give you some more material for the 5-day Connecting Challenge, which is this whole reason we have the studio audience, and we're launching on this lovely winter day in Southern Oregon. And if you're tuning in after the fact, or if you happen upon us, then you can join in with this Connecting Challenge. Send me an email to register. It's totally free. There's our favorite F word again. Well, it's one of them, right? We have several, yes.
Several.
Yeah, food, fun, free, film. Anybody else? Yeah, lots of good ones.
Figs.
Figs, oh, I love figs, right. I love to connect with figs. That's a good connection. Nicely done, Sean. Sean Mark Nipper with Real House Films is behind the camera. My fine colleague and friend Robin, a fantastic world-class realtor and speaker, is over here to my left. And two great examples of connecting and making the world better. Sean did not come here on volunteer basis. Robin did. Well, Sean volunteered to take the job. He didn't have to take the job because we're really connected. Yes. So if you want to tune in for the follow-up in 2 weeks, if you're registered, you're going to get the notice already. We're going to cover what I call FUFT, follow up and follow through. It sounds fun. I feel like I need to have some sort of big fluffy prop, like that sweater you have that looks like a Yeti.
Oh, right.
Yes, we'll have you bring that next time. But follow up and follow through is what FUFT stands for. It's an elemental, essential for connectors. You have to follow up and follow through in order for your connecting to really get the juice and the wherewithal, the purpose, the meaning that you can intend. And it's pretty darn powerful stuff. It's the number one thing that I find that people miss. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but it is the number one area where you can improve. It's the number one opportunity growth area. There, I'll put it that way. Very positive. If you don't do it, you never get to where you could go. If you do it, whew, the world is not only your penthouse, it's your oyster. And oysters are great with stout, and it's not too early for that. Right, Rachel? Right. So some of you gave me some questions to ponder in leading up to this. Thank you for all those. Keep them coming. You had some terrific, well, I've been in this situation and I'm thinking about going in this situation, or I had a previous relationship and I'm wondering about how to reinvigorate it. Those are great questions. Thank you so much. I will cover them in future segments. Most of them deserve their own standalone episode. So keep them coming. I'm here as your connecting guide. Happy to answer those questions in the future. So keep tuning in. For those of you not attending live on this fine January day in 2018, I do offer a variety of services on connecting. It's speaking, training, coaching. I'm not going to give you a hard sell here. Just letting you know that if you like this, there's more where that came from. You can check that out at gingerjohnson.com. My number's listed on the website. I always welcome phone calls. You're welcome to give me your best shot. Send me that email as well at ginger@gingerjohnson.com, or check out the website gingerjohnson.com. I'm also on Twitter, so those of you who like to tweet, feel free to flap along. One more thing before we call this one to order. I am going to have another series coming up on connectivity. It's going to be a 6-part series. If you're interested in learning more about that, we're going to take these first 3 concepts, expand them, make them deeper and more meaningful. We're going to do some one-on-one coaching and conversations. So if you're interested in getting in on that, send me an email. Once again, this isn't a standing offer. I've got an introductory class beginning in February, special price, limited seats. If you're interested after that fact, contact me anyway. There's always going to be some good stuff going on. So thanks for joining me today. I'm Ginger, your connecting host and guide. My goal is to help you learn how to connect comfortably and confidently in your world, and for those of you, those other people around you. And so I'm glad you're here. This was segment 2, the Why in the Road of the 5-Day Connecting Challenge. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.